Welcome to the discussion panel on judicial deception regarding Hamilton County Courts in the state of Indiana. My name is Malika Clary-Ghosh, and I am the founder for Judicial Deception. Last week we left off with talking about Stephen Nation and Superior 1. Stephen Nation was a change of judge. I put in motion, I filed an emergency motion to prevent my ex-husband from taking my son out of the preschool called Garter School. I was able to go to the school and exercise my parenting rights, but my ex-husband did not want me to be there or spend time with my son. So I put an emergency motion because he was taking him out of that school to put him in the Penrose school. And I filed an emergency motion. I went to Stephen Nation's court and I gave it to his secretary. And the secretary seen the opposing counsel, Ryan Kasman. And right in front of my eyes, she went to the hallway and gave him the motion instead of giving it to the judge. I mentioned to that secretary that, wait a minute, why did you give my motion to the counsel? Why didn't you give it to the judge? Well, I let him look at it first, she stated. I said, well, I want my motion to go directly to the judge. Let the judge make that decision. And she wasn't very happy about that. I wasn't very happy about that because Ryan Kasman is not a judge. He's a lawyer. So therefore, she should have gave it to the judge. So I complained later on about her performance to the administration court. Well, even though at the end of this, the clerk, I believe it was the court clerk, she ended up giving it to the judge. And the judge said, well, I'm going to give him 3 days. So let the opposite counsel to respond. But that was fine with me, but let the judge do that, not the secretary. So I ended up complaining about the secretary's performance with the court administration. They wrote a note, a letter, apologized the situation, and they sent a copy to Judge Nation. Now, unfortunately, Judge Nation have not been on my case at all. This was still new to him. So I guess he didn't like the fact that I complained about his office, because when I got in front of him and with my case, he took it out on my case. He didn't like, I have a right to complain about something I see is wrong, and I have nothing wrong with that. I don't have anything wrong with me to complain about something. If you don't see something you like and it's wrong in your eyes, then you have a right to complain or make notes about that. So when we got in front of Judge Nation, I had all my cases in front of him and he did nothing. I mean, he showed that he was upset. He asked me questions about the parenting. Why did I want a parenting coordinator? I mean, he drilled me. I said, well, me and my ex-husband don't get along, so a parenting coordinator will be very good for this kind of case. Well, he didn't seem sympathetic. He didn't really want to give me a parenting coordinator. He took his time. We never really got into court on different issues. He continued. He allowed my ex-husband to keep on continue, never get anything done. Then when we got in front of him, he would just sit there, really not really listen. I remember one time he actually got up and left the courtroom and never even came back. We talked about stuff and it was like 3 hours wasted, another 3 hours, another 3 hours. He did nothing, kept on continuing my motions. He would leave my motions up there on the case summary and would not answer them. He did nothing to the fact that he wanted to help me out. And then when we finally got things resolved in front of him, after he kept continuing these motions, I realized that he had gave an order that he did not care what he was writing on that order. For instance, he put me in contempt for things I wouldn't even be in contempt for. Me and my ex-husband is supposed to follow Indian parenting time guidelines. And excuse me one second. We were supposed to follow the Indian parenting time guidelines. Well, every year he gets to practice a spring break. I get to practice spring break every other year. Well, I was in contempt for practicing my own spring break. He put me in contempt for that. He put me in contempt for being 5 minutes late to drop off my son. He put me in contempt for that. He put me in contempt for spending time with my son at the daycares and not asking permission. Put me in contempt for things that I would not be in contempt for. He put me in contempt. Not just he put me in contempt, he also had an excessive finding of $18,000 that I will owe my ex-husband for his attorney fees. He did not get no evidence. Ryan Castman did not provide any evidence of his attorney fees. He did not really care about if he did have evidence. He stamped it, didn't care about anything, told me that I couldn't go to the preschool. I would have to ask permission from my ex-husband. Didn't give me anything. Just did not allow me to go to the preschool and be with my son. And the new preschool that my son was in, I couldn't even see my son up there. I went there for like 20 minutes, and they literally, basically, like harassed me. So I would feel uncomfortable there. So it ended up being a situation that I was not able to go to that preschool anymore because I made us think about that. Because I said, why are you guys harassing me? Why are you around me? I'm with my son, and we didn't get along. The manager and myself didn't get along, so they banned me from going to the preschool. You got to think about it. How does it feel if a parent is trying to see her son or see her child? How does that make someone feel? You're literally harassing me because I'm doing something that I'm supposed to be doing. I'm seeing my son, spending time with him, making sure he's okay at the daycare, and I'm being harassed. That's not acceptable. I don't think that was right. But the Judge Stephen Nation, didn't help me out in that area at all. He just allowed my ex-husband to pick and choose. He was upset with me because I complained about his staff. But he also was a lazy judge. I got so disgusted with him is that I tried to recuse him off my case. And if you don't know what that means, I filed a 53A or 53B. It was a motion to the Supreme Court to state that he needs to get off my case. Well, the recluse, he had to answer it, but he didn't answer it. So he let it just go like any other of my motions. So basically, he was removed because he didn't do his job. He was removed off my case because he didn't do his job. He didn't answer the motion, so Supreme Court removed him. It makes sense because anytime I had a motion in front of him, he didn't do nothing. He just let it go. Let it go. My ex-husband asked for continuance all the time, and he just let it go. He did not care about what I had to say. He did not do nothing. So he had to be removed off my case. And to be honest with you, I'm glad he was removed. But I'm hoping, and at this time, I was hoping that I'm going to get somebody fair, who's going to do their job, who's going to pay attention what's going on, who's not going to always be in my ex-husband's favor. Because I've been seeing already a tremendous amount of bias between Daniel Flagging, Stephen Nation, and now I'm sitting here wondering, okay, I'm supposed to get a special judge. I'm not sure who this special judge is at the moment, but I'm going to tell you something. I was looking for someone who is going to do their job and make sure that these things are not happening. I've went back and forth to the courts trying to get help, and only thing I'm getting is excessive attorney fees, $18,000, $15,000, $17,000, just because I'm going to the court to get relief, trying to get them to help me, help my situation. And the only thing I'm getting is lashed out because I have a voice. There's nothing wrong with having a voice. There's nothing wrong with going to court and asking for help. That is what a judge is supposed to be doing, is help you. He's not supposed to be biased against you. He's not supposed to be just helping one party. He is supposed to listen to the facts and listen to the case and be fair. That is what a judge is supposed to do, and that is not what I'm getting in this court. So I have to explain to you before I get to the biggest problem and the worst judge ever besides these two. I have to take a break there because there is so much more that I have to say about the next judge, Judge William Hughes, the special judge. I can't even imagine to tell you right now. I want you to stay tuned for next week's segment. We will discuss the issues with special judge, and this one is the one that led me to do these videos. This one is the one that led me to protest and going to do further protesting. This is the judge that got me out of my comfortability and decided for myself I need a change. I need to do something. This is the judge that pushed my buttons to realize that I am not ever going to get any help in Hamilton County Superior Court. I realized that. This is the judge, this is the one that really made me think I need a change of venue in a different county. So I tell you, folks, please stay tuned for next week's segment. We will be talking about Judge William Hughes. Thank you for your time. And also, let me just reiterate my phone number, 617-388-8637. My email is popery55@hotmail.com. I will be, if you want to contact me or send me emails, that's fine. I am planning to do a protest for a change of venue and a change of venue to a different county coming soon. So please stay tuned. Everything has to happen in steps. So I am going to be doing that. We are trying to get a change here, and I need one. I really need a change. I'm being treated very unfairly in the Hamilton County court system. And unfortunately, I'm trying to also prevent somebody else to be treated this way. If you do not believe me of the facts or anything like that, you can always look up my case. My case number is 29D030908DR002586. You may not see everything on the case summary, so you'll have to go to the court and pull the records from the court. It's public, so you can go ahead and you'll look at all my motions I filed, and you'll see what kind of abuse I've been going through. So thank you, and have a wonderful day, and stay tuned for next week's segment. Thank you.